Well, that was an absolute load of nonsense. Manchester City have just lost to Brighton 3-2 in a painful game of football to watch. I cannot stand commentators and referees. Absolutely useless. It was... Honestly, I wanted to tear my eyes out at times and rip off my ears. That was so painful. There's a lot to unpack. Before I do that, though, I want to be a little bit more cheerful and say, go and support my channel if you don't mind, and go and download the wonderful OneFootball app. It's absolutely awesome. I promise you, it's really, really good. All the Manchester City news, all your transfer news, all your stats, all the headlines before they happen, sent straight to your phone via OneFootball. So if you want to help cheer this Stephen up a little bit, go download OneFootball right now in the link in the description below. It costs nothing. It's a brilliant app, and all the news and information is there, and all the reactions to the games and all that kind of stuff. Go and download it right now in the link in the description below. Go on, do it right now. But let's get into that game. I'm just going to start once again, just talk about how frustrated I am by referees these days. I mean, I tweeted out, I feel like sometimes referees watch a given game to us, or they see the game differently to us, because the amount of times you sit there and go, how have they not given that, or how have they called that decision, or how are they doing that, or how have they ignored this particular action? And the commentators do it too. They act like certain things haven't just happened that everyone else is seeing visibly right there. Yet every single week it seems to happen. I'm more and more convinced that once again, they just don't understand the game the way we do. Or maybe we don't understand the game. I don't know. But either way, there's a discrepancy between what we as fans, how we see the game, and how referees and pundits seem to see the game at times. And it's so tiring to watch because you feel like you're being treated like an idiot. And that's what makes it so frustrating to, I guess, try and deal with, basically. Because I'm like, do they think we're stupid? Do you think we can't see the fact that clearly wasn't a foul? Do you think that we can't see that should have been a foul on a certain player or whatever? These things constantly happening that we're expected just to swallow and move on. And it's very frustrating, basically. Either way, City have lost. I'm not concerned about the actual performance. The game was rendered a farce as soon as Cancelo was sent off, in my personal opinion. I mean, I am going to say it immediately. I don't think it was a red card. I don't think Cancelo fouls Welbeck at all. And I'm not just trying to be biased Manchester City fan here. I genuinely believe Welbeck hooks his arm and then pulls him down. I really, hand on heart, believe that's what happened. I think it's clumsy from Welbeck as much as it's clumsy from Cancelo. It's never, ever Cancelo's fault, that, in my opinion. I really believe that. From that moment onwards, Atwell was terrible. Terrible. The amount of fouls against Manchester City that weren't given. Even a penalty towards the end should have been given. But it was constant little things that he was ignoring. Constant niggles at Manchester City players. Loads and loads of little things. And you felt like he was doing everything he could to wind the players up. Even Gundogan having a foot planted on his knee quite aggressively. Nothing in that, apparently. Just the commentators like, oh, he's fine. Gundogan apparently was being a bit theatrical at one point. I'm just tired of it. But the game anyway was rendered redundant at that point. It was like 12 versus 9 at times. Just Garcia came on and he was pretty abysmal, unfortunately. So it wasn't just 10 men, it felt like a 9 men, and then the referee was on their side. It wasn't really a spectacle to enjoy from a Manchester City perspective as soon as that Cancelo thing happened. So I guess the point I'm making is you can't really take anything from that in terms of our current form. I saw some people going, oh, it shows our defence is poor. What if it means our defence is poor in the final? No, stop it. The referee was terrible. The players are playing in weird circumstances with a referee. They didn't want him to win today for whatever reason. And we had 10 men, a certain player playing. He was particularly useless at right back, and we had no midfield and loads of caveats. It doesn't matter. It's a glorified friendly. This game doesn't mean anything in the way that the Leeds game didn't mean anything for the PSG game or whatever. These things don't matter, man. They don't matter at all. It's just a game we get through and get a bit frustrated by, but ultimately we forget and move on. All I'm hoping is that Gundogan isn't injured, because that's the only potential actual worry from this game. The defence will be fine come the final. Of course they will. They'll be focused, they'll be organised, and they'll be up for it. But you can't really do anything about a referee who wants to make the game such a joke as it is today. The only positive I can take from it is what a lovely little goal the first one was. Obviously, Mahrez finding Gundogan at the back post, and I think it was noble, by the way, even with 10 men, that when Gundogan went off, we lost our rhythm and control of the ball. And so big love for Gundogan for that. But of course, the biggest positive was that incredible goal from Philip Walter Foden. An incredible, genuinely Messi-esque kind of goal from Foden. People have been saying he's going to score wonder goals pretty soon. He's going to start doing that, and he's starting to do that now. Honestly, that was his 15th goal of the season, and I've been saying for an awful long time he's going to be a 20-goal a season player. He's already a 15 to 20-goal a season player right now, and I've got no doubt he's going to get better and better and better. I mean, the grace and the skill to score that goal. It's the way he picks the ball up in his own half as well. It reminded me a little bit of Gareth Bale versus Inter, that famous goal, but either way, we know Gareth Bale doesn't have, as great as he was, that same grace, that balletic grace that Phil Foden's got. He's a special player, he really is. He's one of the best players Manchester City have, and he's only that young, and he's in one of the best teams in the world as well. He's going to be some player in a couple of years. He's already some player right now. It's scary to think how good he could get. An incredible player, of course, as well. There's no Walker, no De Bruyne, no Sterling, no Aguero. A couple of those players definitely will be starting in the final, almost certain. Walker in particular, maybe Kevin De Bruyne, of course. So we can't really take too much from the performance. It was frustrating, though. I mean, what else can we take from the performance? It's very difficult. I was disappointed for Ferran Torres. I was really excited to see if he could make a claim to at least be the first choice substitute off the bench in the Champions League final if we need a goal. It wasn't his fault that he had to be sacrificed, so to speak. It sounds quite dramatic, that, doesn't it? But you know what I mean. It wasn't his fault at all. But I was disappointed for him because I was excited after his hat-trick the other day. He was really good the other day, and we all wanted to see a little bit of more Ferran Torres. Hopefully the spectacle was going to be good and we could learn a little bit and see if he genuinely was the real deal after he had the confidence from the other day. But we were robbed of that, unfortunately, and cruelly as well. As well, we were also robbed of a chance maybe to see Cole Palmer on it, because I'm almost certain if City didn't get reduced sillily to down to 10 men, we probably would have been comfortably 3-0 up or something by the last half an hour. I really believe that would have been true. As it is, no Cole Palmer, unfortunately, and we won't see Cole Palmer or any other academy player in the final game of the season either, in my humble opinion. Good luck for Brighton. I was happy for the fans, even though they were booing Phil Foden. Good for the fans to see some back in the stadium, whatever, but I can't really pretend to be excited by Brighton's result or anything like that. It is what it is. The game was a farce. City just had to get through it, really, and it really honestly was over from the moment Cancelo was sent off, because there was nothing interesting left to gain from that game. It was just basically about not getting injured, trying to hold out for a victory that didn't ultimately matter. Don't read into this game too much. It is frustrating, and once again, I am tired of the referees being absolutely useless, because you just want more. You want more because you feel like you've been treated like an idiot, and that's what makes it really painful. Like, if the commentators were going, refs got that wrong there, how can they not see it? Then at least you'd feel like someone's on your side. But when you feel like the world of football and the commentators are just telling you that actually, all you City fans, you're wrong and you can't see something that seems so blindingly obvious, you feel a bit frustrated. And that's where I'm at right now, because it gets frustrating watching people go, oh, obviously these people are alright. You're like, am I losing my mind here? It gets very frustrating. Guardiola looked a bit frustrated on the sidelines, but I'm almost certain it's because of everything we've just said. Like, he knows deep down that game was an absolute pile of turgid nonsense, I'm seeing if Guardiola said anything in the press conference right now. I wouldn't be surprised if he's not particularly happy about it. Apparently Guardiola was particularly happy with Graham Potter as well at the end of the game. I'm going to guess that's genuine frustration. For what it's worth, I don't think Rodri did his best today, unfortunately. I know it wasn't a big deal, and it was 10 men and all that kind of stuff, but he was culpable for one of their goals. And right now, if you had a chance of starting, which I don't really think he did, because I think Fernandinho proved himself as the first choice, but right now it wasn't a good time to make that mistake. Maybe Guardiola will give him the benefit of the doubt and say, the circumstances were crazy, but it was a sloppy back pass, So I think, unfortunately, Rodri, if there was a chance for him starting, he's probably played himself out of it, because Fernandinho will take the mantle. I can't say I'm concerned by Zinchenko or Diaz or Stones, because the circumstances they were up against them. There's only so much they can do. Likewise for Ederson, to be honest. I thought Gundogan and Bernardo worked pretty hard. Mahrez was a little bit lazy, I would say, in terms of passing the ball today. A couple of times Foden was through and he didn't pass it to him, which was Mahrez, I think, is in cruising mode as well. But it is what it is. A frustrating game of football. BT driving me mad. The referee driving me mad. But I guess we just forget about it and move on. We've got one more game now. Hopefully Sergio can come on the pitch against Everton. It'd be absolutely lovely, wouldn't it? But that was incredibly frustrating. But I guess at the same time, there's nothing really to worry about. These games don't matter. They don't. The players will know it. Guardiola will know it. They'll wake up tomorrow just moaning about the ref. Go, God, that ref was a dick, won't they? But ultimately, they'll forget, because we are genuinely we are in the Champions League final. It's going to be very, very, very fun. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. The live stream went off earlier, so I didn't get around to doing it. I will be live with a fan view straight after this video. Hopefully, you can come and get involved. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Big love to my Patreon users, Ahmed Al-Ali, William Pritchard, and Irene JLC. Absolute legends. And don't forget, if you want us to have your say on the fan view, members, patrons, you'll find the links on Patreon and in the YouTube community tab. For now, though, what a frustrating game of football, but we'll get over it.